it's July. It's been 3 months since my last dispatch video, so it's time for the date. And we are back in the sofa because, well, in summer I block out the window upstairs so there isn't a lot of natural light coming in, so for lighting purposes it's better here. And it's comfy too. Man, my arm hurts. And I don't know if it's the crocheting or the knitting or the everything else, but all of that is so painful. And like, both my doctors are like, yeah, you should rest, and I'm like, yeah, I should rest, and my brain is like, you should not. What is rest? I don't like that. Let's not do that. And my brain's a bitch. So I'm in pain. But I did some stuff. And yeah, it's been 3 months. Wow. And yes, it's July and I'm wearing a Halloween t-shirt. Because I can. Because I'm a Halloween freak and I will always be. So let's talk first about my current whip, which is the Coraline Sweater 3.0. I'm redoing it, it was just not long enough, so it was frustrating me. And now that I made the pattern last time and encountered every possible problems and corrected it, it's super straightforward. I just follow my own pattern. And I know it's gonna fit perfectly because I already did the work. And it's fun, it's quick, it's great. I do appreciate knitting sometimes, and yeah, that's what I'm knitting at the moment. And I'm using 2 strands of fingering weight. At first I had to frog it because I completely forgot that I have 2 different colors of yarn, so that I needed to have a strategy about that. First I only used the 2 lighter colors. The colors are super close, so I didn't even notice it. I just didn't remember it. And that means that at some point there would have been a cut where the color changes, and I was not happy with that. So instead I'm using a strand of the lighter and a strand of the darker together. That means the color is not flat, and I like that. And it gives it a bit of texture visually, so that's kinda nice. And I know it's going to be the same color all the way up on the sleeves because I have the same amount of yarn of each color. So I don't have to stress about it. It's kinda nice. I just have to make sure I keep them separated, and when one color ends I add the right ball to it, the right color to it, instead of switching, because then I would have a section that has 2 dark strands and 2 light strands or whatever. It's better, I just keep track. I have 2 teapots, 2 different teapots, and yeah, they each go into a different teapot, and it's great because the teapots and balls of yarn means that pretty much there is no tangling, there is no ball that goes everywhere at the bottom of the basket and I never find again. It's kinda nice. So that is what I am doing at the moment. Now the big thing that I did during those 3 months, and that basically took me those 3 months to finish, is this blanket. So all of that is stuff I'm going to talk about later. And that it was just more convenient to move in the blanket, but that's it. There. And there. Oops. Problem for later me. this is the blanket. And man, it took me fucking forever to finish it. It is taller than me. It is as wide as both my arms, a bit more wider than that. So it's a huge blanket. It's like 3/4 of the size of my big poncho, so it's a big blanket. It's pretty thin though, because it's crocheted. Man, what did you happen? Whatever, fix that later. It's crocheted with 3.5 crochet. So it took so long. It was so repetitive because it was all double crochet. At least the poncho had interesting accents with interesting stitches added in the mix. That, you know, there's single crochet, there's extended, there's slips, there are a lot of different stitches in there, and that's what makes it interesting to make. This is just double crochet in 3.5 millimeter, which is half the size of this one. And I was going insane. And look, I like it. I really love it. It's softer than I thought. I really love the movement, the weight of it. It's a great blanket, but it took me 70 hours. It took me 3 months. I was so done by the end of it, but I wanted it finished by the end of June so I can move on. And also it's starting to get really hot, and it's no longer the weather to be knitting, to be crocheting a big blanket on your lap all the time. So there had to be something going on. And yeah, I really needed to finish it. So I finished it and I kinda forced on my body, and I think that's what caused the problem in the shoulder. And you know, not resting properly was the reason that it's still there, because I finished it a week before the end of June. I know, I didn't see this one coming. Honestly, I still had so much to do, but at that point I was like, I'll never finish it, and I finished it in time, which I am pretty proud of. So I had a week to spare on June, so that's when I started on the Corling sweater. But yeah, that's a monster. And if someone wants to buy it from me, they're going to have to pay a hefty price, because that bitch took me 70 hours and so much yarn. I basically stopped when I ran out of the red yarn, and so I still have some white and some black left, which is good because I'm going to use them to make a Christmas sweater. So I will appreciate having them. But yeah, it took so long, man. Drove me nuts. I was so exhausted. I think it was like a quarter through. I just couldn't do it anymore. It was just the same every day, 3-4 hours of just double crochet. It's too much. And I needed a break. So I needed this. It's a beanie which has cables all the way up and down, and they're very small, and they have a little space in between, and so it's very stretchy, and I like it a lot. I had a lot of fun making it. I wanted to keep it just like that, but the edge was a bit floppy, despite it being, you know, cables. It's stretchy, so I thought it would be, but no. So I used contrasting yarn to make some ribbing at the bottom, and I used it to make a pom-pom. So that means that I used 2 different balls of yarn for it, and I like that it's a different color. It's a little darker, so there is a bit of contrast, and I just really like it. And it's pretty big. There is a lot of stretch, and negative is in there, That means that someone with a bigger head can wear it, which is good because when you do market stuff, you don't just want stuff that fits you, you want stuff that will fit a lot of people. So if someone with a really big head comes to my stall, I want them to be able to find a beanie for them. And I'm really glad I did it. It took a while because cables, there are so many cables and it's very fine yarn. I think it's finger weight. So yeah, it took me a while. But worth it, I really love it. I think it came to me in a dream too. So I really like it. I'm really glad I made it. And then it was back to the blanket and I was still again too sick of it. So I made another shawl. Because it's a good palette cleanser. And I just needed a break. So this is basically the same pattern that I've been using for the last one, but I modified it because, well, she used double crochet clusters and I don't like that stitch all that much. I just don't like the look of it. So instead I just replaced them with basic double crochet, and that means that I use less yarn and it's a little more airy, which I like. And I haven't blocked it yet. I will in the next 3 months do a lot of blocking because it's going to be hot, so my windows are going to be open a lot just to cope with the heat, so that's important. And another thing that I did was I redid that scarf. So again, it's still the same braid as I do all the time. I didn't have a lot of yarn left of the pink set. I used a lot for a beanie with a pom-pom, some hand warmers, and the leftover I was like, yeah, sure, I'll make a scarf. And the scarf, I did it the braid, and I did 2 purl stitches on each side plus 1 knit stitch. So there was a lot of negative space that I didn't like, that I didn't need, and that meant that the scarf was like this long, which is a ridiculously too short scarf. So I kept it to just the braid. The back is look like that. I like it. And that means that even if it's a very thin scarf, actually has the size of a scarf. So it's not that pathetic. And that means that yes, I'm adding this pink set that at first I wanted to keep for myself. I will add it to the stuff I will bring to the market if I ever find a market and try to sell. So that means I will have 2 other sets, maybe more. I don't remember how many exactly I have of that specific set. But I really wanted to make another one. And when I went to the thrift store this week, it was like there was yarn that was so similar to that, and the brown one. I was like, yeah, it would be cool to have yet another set, but I don't need yet another set of this one. 2 is enough. Like, I can't do 10 of those. I don't even know if I'm going to sell them. I can't just do 10 same sets. But yeah, that's what happened. I kind of want the next one to still have the braids, to have decreases on the top between the braids, which would be cool. So that maybe it's a little more shaped, which will be interesting because right now all my beanies are just gathered at the top. Totally works for me, but I thought it'd be interesting to have different options, different shapes for people to choose. And it was interesting to make that beanie with decrease in between. So yeah, that's what I did during the 3 months. Doesn't look like a lot because the blanket took so long. But yeah, I did all that, plus the body of the cordon sweater, and I'm about to split for the arms, so the body is pretty much done. So that's great. And next, for the following. The truth is, it's hot. The blanket took forever. I just want light, quick project from now on, at least for the next 3 months, because first I ain't putting anything big made of yarn on my lap when it's 40 degrees outside. Hell no. Secondly, I don't want to spend 3 months on one thing again. Like I need a break. Emotionally, I need a break. So let me get those things that fell back. Okay, got them. So the next thing that I try to do this week, this past 3 months, is use that yarn, that very thick, glossy, pretty yarn. It's a very nice color, it's a very nice feel. And I had the idea of doing something like that. A Canadian smoked pillow. And so I would have like the braid used to make the circumference, and then have gathering stitches to come back to the middle. And I thought that would be cool. But when I tried to actually knit a braid with it, it just looked plain. And I was really hoping to have something as intricate and as beautiful as this, because that's what the yarn calls for. I just want something fun, not just plain braid. So I think I'm going to remove that from the needle. I had to take 20mm needles for that. And I think I'm going to braid it instead, because then I don't have to bother with the needles, because it was stiff even with the needles. This is just too big a yarn. And I think I'm going to braid it with my fingers and try to make like a 7 or 8 strand brands to make that intricate design, and then find some way to knot it together into a gathered circle there. I don't know yet, but I'll figure it out. So yeah, that's kind of the plan. It went on the back burner because I don't know exactly how to do it, and I just really wanted the blanket to be done, and then I really want the sweater to be done, because that's again something that I don't particularly want to have on my lap all summer. So it's only 20 degrees C outside right now, so it's fine if I have like stuff on my lap during the night. I'm not suffocating, but heat is going to come back, and when it does, I'm not having 10 pounds of stuff on my lap. No fucking way. So that's one of the thing, and it's gonna be a quick project because, you know, yarn like that just goes very quick. So the next thing I want to do is, I have those two yarn that I probably, now that I have some insight on stuff, I probably sock yarn, but I will not use in sock, because I'm not sure, and also I just don't want to make socks with that color. So I'm going to make a little bat doll with them. So the gray will be the outside of the wings and the body, and the red will be the inside of the wings. So the wings will fold out, and then you discover the red like it's a cancan dancer, and it's gonna be interesting to make, but most importantly it's going to be lightweight, because it's just that ball of yarn, so it's not going to be a lot of my on my lap. So that is probably going to be my next project. I like to have a knitting and a crochet project going on at the same time, so when I'm sick of one I can do the other. I don't know how my brain works, but like sometimes I've been crocheting on something for a while and I'm having a blast, and like my brain is like, oh, I want to do some knitting right now, some knitting, not crochet, knitting. So I just switch back and forth. I never have more than 2 weeks at a time. For something like big, like a blanket, I will put in pause for a while and do something quick, and then finish something quick and go back to the blanket. But when it's small projects, never more than 2 at a time, one crochet, one knitting, because I don't like having 1,000 whips hanging around, and it's just not how my brain works. When I'm on something, I finish it. I'm so tired. Okay, it helps. One of the next thing I will do, I don't know why you're here, you should be there, is I have this glow-in-the-dark green cotton yarn. I'm pretty sure it's cotton, which is great because they don't tell you what it is. Boy, don't have that. They don't even tell me what it is. It's so reassuring. It was, it was cheap. I just needed some glow in the dark, something, but for something that I didn't end up using. So I have it. I need to use it. And this summer I'm going to be making a lot of Halloween decor stuff, crafts. So I was just thinking little crochet ghost ornaments and not thinking too much about it. And if I'm sick of the ghosts, I will make stars and we'll make these stars into ornaments again, but this time for Christmas, because I truly intend to have my market at Christmas, so around Christmas, so I do intend to sell ornaments there. So having little stars ornaments crocheted by hand would be nice. I think it would be cool. So that's kind of happening. One other thing that I'm actually pretty excited about is I have this green. It's more like emo blue-green than actual Christmas green. But I'm not that picky. It was 50 cents. So I'm not that picky. It will do. And I'm going to pair it with this red that I have. It's the same weight. And make socks with them because I need to start on socks. And I learned pretty much today that sock yarn usually has nylon in it for stretch. And now that I know that, honestly the feel of that means that, yeah, probably it is sock yarn, but I'm not using it for sock. I will do what I can with it. I will keep up and just I'll make there are 70% acrylic and 30% wool, which is not ideal for socks apparently, but I don't care as much as you think. I just need to use that yarn, and honestly I have no other idea for it. Man, it looks blue in this light. It looks green in real life, but it looks blue there. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do with this one, and I'm actually pretty excited to start on socks, because if those work out, then I will know how to make socks. Then I will make the thigh-high socks, which again are the blue and pink yarn that I had put aside for making those socks. Is actually, first it's lace weight, which is gonna take so long to do, but also I don't think there is any nylon in it. I think it's pure wool, so it's pretty itchy and it does not have any stretch. So that's going to make interesting socks. But I put that aside for it, and honestly I don't have anything else I want to do with it, so if they take some wear and don't last forever, I think I will make peace with it. but I still want to make them. First, those are going to be like this high, so they're just going to be so I can learn to make socks. And the blue and pink striped thigh-high socks are pretty much just going to be my first test on making thigh-high socks that fit me. So they're going to be a big experiment. They don't need to be perfect, they don't need to be something that I'll cherish forever. There are going to be mistakes in them. They're going to be stuff that I want to fix for the next one, and it's okay. So yeah, that's kind of the plan. I'm excited for that. I think once I'm done with the sweater, I'm going to make this my next knitting project, because fun. And I like the idea of having making myself a gift for Christmas. I've been doing that for a long time because I usually spend my Christmas alone, so the only one that actually gives me gifts is me. Well, that's not true. My neighbor gave me gifts a couple times, which was very nice of her. So that's the next knitting project, I think. After that, I also have other knitting projects. That is the next crochet project after the bat doll. And if I want another crochet project after that, I have the voodoo doll. That is going to be big hook size, so it's gonna be fun. And it's gonna be nice to work on something big. And the next project after that is, I have this tattoo and I really love it. It's gold things and I really love it, but colors do not mix with sun well. Colored tattoo just don't like sun. So I've been covering my arm for 2 years now during the summer, and it's just part of my everyday, so I'm okay with that. But the sleeves that I've been using for it are like kawaii stuff, not my style. They fit pretty well, they work fine, but they're just not that fun for me because they're not my style. So they kind of clash with the rest. So I was thinking maybe make a sleeve with like those two colors in stripes would be a lot more fun. So that's kind of the next option. If it works out, maybe I'll use some of my pink and blue to make another sleeve to have changed, so I don't have just those vibrant colors options. So that is going to be a very useful thing. So maybe my next project instead of the socks. We'll see. We'll see later. And we're back to the next project, which is the last knitting project I have on my list. On a list that I haven't talked about before. I finally decided what to do with this yarn, which is the Chaboté Pearl Pure Wool. Damn it! It's really pretty. It is lace weight. It's fine. I don't mind. See, I'm lying. I do mind. It's really nice. I want to do something really nice with it. And since it's lace weight, my mind goes immediately to lace. So I want to do lace with it, and I have 3 balls of it. So I was thinking maybe a knitted lace top. That like in the round of there and then splits in two into attach at the back of the neck, and so my back will be mostly naked so I can show off my tattoo, and make a knitted so it's all airy and stretchy and breathy and fun. It only cost me $2. I love the thrift store. So that's kind of the goal with this one. I don't know. I don't know why, but I kind of want to do it. I don't think I will finish it in time for this summer, because just no. It's going to take me forever. And meant for someone who doesn't actually know how to knit lace. I do have so many knit lace projects. I have this one, I have the wraparound sweater, I have the cape, I have something to do with the mohair that I'm going to have to do something with it, and it's probably going to be lace knitting again. I don't know yet. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. I don't know, I don't think it's gonna be fun, but I still want to do it. And also, I don't know if you remember, but in the last video I was talking about a bunch, I think it was 3 balls again of beige wool, and I thought it was beige, and so I was thinking about making it into Gable Goats dolls and pair it with some red that I have and make it into Gable Goats. Problem is that I saw it in the proper light, like in sunlight again, and it's not beige. It's grey, which is not a problem, but it's kinda ruined my goal because I cannot do a Gable Goats in grey. What I can do is, it's the right weight with my black, my white and my red that I already have laying around. So they will totally be used into the Christmas sweater because I have the design, and it will use all those colors, which will be perfect. It's going to be Evil Santa from Futurama. So I need grey, I need white, I need red, and I need black as a base. So I have all those colors to make the Christmas sweater. It's a good thing. What the problem is, I really wanted to make the Gable Goats. I don't have beige. I don't have any color that will be the right color for it. So it's very frustrating because that means this year, if I don't buy any yarn, I'm gonna be screwed and I can't do the Gable Goats. Which really sucks. Because I want to make one for myself and one to send to my friend, and I know she would have loved it, and I was excited about that, and it kinda screws over. So at that point I have 2 options. Either give up on it and just do stuff with what I already have, which is probably the right thing to do, or buy yarn just for this one. But if I open that gate, I know that I will buy yarn for every project that I want to do that I don't have yarn for. Because the problem with I'm training my imagination into thinking of new yarn projects to use the yarn that I have, so I can start on a blank slate again and use actually all the yarn that I have. The problem with training my brain to do that is that it has a lot of ideas that I do not have the yarn for. So I have like a list that it's long like that, just of project that I want to make and I don't have the yarn for, and it's so stressing and it's so frustrating. So yeah, the past couple months have been really tense and really frustrating because I just kept wanting to buy yarn for this dream stuff that I've been wanting to make for the past 2 weeks, and I can't do because no new yarn. So just wanted to say, yeah, it's frustrating. I just really want to buy new yarn. I just want to go to the store and see what they have and see what I can use to make those projects that I really want to make. I just want to say, yeah, it's gonna happen. If you take a year or so to destash and stop buying yarn and only stop when you're when you used all your stash, there is going to be a point where you're gonna be so frustrated and so stressed about not having the yarn that you want, and it's going to happen. And either you take it with grace, which I didn't do, and suck it up, or you're going to be miserable. And if you have this strict no new yarn rule, it's going to be a miserable time, but it's gonna pass. It's gonna pass. You just have to focus on this project and the next project and the next project, and when you have enough time after all those projects to do the one that you wanted to do at that time, you'll be out of your challenge by then, because you'll already be out of yarn. So it's gonna be okay, but it's painful at the moment. So, or you can have the option of screwing the challenge and saying, yeah, but I want to buy a yarn for this one, so I'm making an exception. I do not do that. I follow the rules, especially the rules that I set on myself. Because if I open that door, things are gonna happen that you don't want to see happen. So I'm sticking to to my guns, and sticking to the rules of the new yarn, but emotionally it's a strain. It's been a lot hard, especially since I've been working on the blanket. It was just the same thing over and over again, and I felt like just wanted new things. I can't have them. So yeah, little warning: if you try to make a distance challenge, it's gonna be hard at some point. It's gonna suck. Other thing is, actually I've had the plan to make 2 of those blankets, so one in that color and one with the yellow and darker yellow that I have, and buy some light beige yarn to be the 3rd color. And it's still a project, it's still on the list, but it's so not happening in the next 3 months because first I'm just out of this one and I just don't want to start again with 25 squares of 10 double crochets again and again and again and again. I just don't want to do that. And also, there's no way I'm putting a blanket on my lap at the moment. So that is for the colder month. We'll see where I am in November, in December, if I started then or not. We'll see, but for now it's just not happening. Because hell no, I'm doing only lightweight, cool projects. Quick stuff too. You know what? For the fun of it, I will tell you all of my list of my current yarn ideas that I have, that I put in down because I wanted to make them someday. On my that's just not all, but on my notebook I put all the ideas I had for a long time that I usually have the yarn for, or that is like the labyrinth blankets and carpets are just not happening anytime soon. I'm okay with that. Because it's going to be a lot of yarn, a lot of thick, expensive yarn. That is going to be when I have money. I don't know when, but it's certainly not now. So they're existing as a project, just like the wedding dresses. They're existing as a project in the future. I do not have the yarn for it. I don't have the time for them. I do not have the money for it. So they're definitely in the backest of the burners. So they're not happening. It's okay. They're written down. They will happen one day. So first on my list was the cable beanies, the beanie with the cables all the way. So I made it. I'm so glad. The braid beanie with the decrease in between, that sadly I don't really have the yarn for anymore because I used all the yarn that is the right type for it already. It's just probably not good idea to make it now. We'll see if I need a palette cleanser at some point. See if I can, knit 3 different fingering weight yarn at the same time. We'll see. It's not for now. Stupid idea, but could be fun. Make a mermaid tail in crochet or in knitting with like crochet scales. I don't know. It's stupid, but I think it would be really fun. I want to make a very long cardigan. I had in my past, when I was teen, I had a long cardigan that was super simple and that reached almost my knee. That was very simple and had really big pockets, and I used it all the time. It was great. It was boring, but I used it all the time because it was just something you shrug on when you were cold, especially in the summer or in the mid seasons. It was great. I loved it and I miss it, and I can't wear it anymore because I just used it so much so there are holes in the elbows and stuff like that. It was pretty thin. It was pretty crappy. So it's dead now, but I realized that I can knit now. I can make one. And if I want to make it more interesting and not just stuck in a stitch all the way up, maybe I can make cables in the back panels or something. Something fun. But I really want a long cardigan with pockets. Problem is it will require a lot of yarn that I do not have. So it will require me to go to the thrift store and find a bag with, I don't know, at least 7 or 8 balls to make it work. I don't have that yet. So I don't know if I can even find them because usually they're a package of 6 or 7 balls max, because you have to be realistic. It's usually leftovers. So people usually don't give you 10 balls of the same yarn, because if they had 10 balls of the same yarn, they will use it, you know. So that's one of the things that I want to do. On the purpose of selling for the markets, I wanted to make Minecraft dolls, like the cow or the pig or the sheep, as little amigurumi style dolls, and I thought it would be fun and stuff to buy for children, stuff like that. And also make like 8-bit flowers or hearts or stuff blankets, just like I made the strawberry blanket like that. It was a commission from a friend, but I think the idea is the same. If I can use the 8-bit design to make little squares and tie them together into a big pixel art thing, I think it could be fun. So I can make like Minecraft stuff, or I'm saying Minecraft because I think it's just more popular, so I'm more likely to sell. But like just regular old carrots or stuff like that, just stuff like Stardew Valley has a lot of stuff that could work, make into a blanket. That's the thing that I would like to make if I had unlimited budget to make blankets and try to sell them. I think they would sell. Well, I have, you know, a lot of illusions in my life. I want to make a cross stitch pillow, so I want to single crochet squares and cross stitch on them as if it was a canvas. I think it's really cool. I want to do that. So that's what I want to do. And the idea for the sentence to put it there is, well-behaved copper Americans rarely make history, because I'm from Tumblr, I had to. So I really want to do that, and I think if I buy the light cream color for the second blanket, I will have some leftover, and I think I would want to use that cream color to make the pillow. But since I'm not buying that yarn yet, because I just not doing the blanket yet, it's definitely going to be, if I do it in the end of the year or even the next year, because basically I'm stopping that challenge when I'm out of yarn. So at the rhythm that I'm going, it's possible that it's going to take me more than a year. So I'm okay with that. I can keep going. I made, in the past, I made crab gloves, crab mittens, and they were very cute and I was very proud of them, and I kept a video of all the stitches counts that I made, so I know how to remake them, and I don't have them anymore because I gave them to a friend. And I want to make them again because I want to have them. It's my design. I want to have a proof of my design because it was a pain in the ass to make. And I really like the result. I wouldn't have wore them, so I thought that it would be better for her to have them because she likes crabs. And yeah, so I want to remake them. Maybe have them on my stand on the market and sell them because it's my design. I want to be proud of it. I want to make them again and see if I can make money out of it because that's cute, that's my style, that's weird, I like weird. The lace green top is there. I want to make skeleton and candy corn stripes, thigh-high socks. I have a lot of thigh-high socks that I want to make. They will require sock yarn, I think, because if I can get away with using the lace weight blue and pink for the first one, I really want to put all the cards on my side for the future one. They are going to be items that I will wear a lot. I don't want to spend that many hours on something that will just disintegrate in a few wears. I need it to be solid and work out, so I will definitely make them in sock yarn. So I need to buy that sock yarn for it, which I don't have. So that's thing that just going to require me to buy yarn and to wait. Again, there is the sleeve. I was thinking pink and blue stripes, but now I'm thinking yellow and orange stripes, so we'll see. I want to make two different sweaters. One is going to be inspired by the devil character in Nightmare Before Christmas. He's red, skin red, and he has like a tunic gray with like a color that overflows a little in gray. And I want to make that, or at least a version that stops at my waist. I don't want it to make like a dress out of it. I want it to be a sweater. And I'm going to wear it because one of my biggest dreams is to look like a background character from Nightmare Before Christmas every damn day. And you know what? I'm closer every day. I already filmed 2 videos with outfits for 3 videos. For summer, for heatwave, and for autumn, and I have like 10 looks for each. I'm closer than ever, and I keep wanting to make pieces for it. Because that's just stuff that I can't find. I have a specific image in mind, and either I can find them in my size or I can find them at all. So I'm going to make them. I have a couple of those. It's like the Korean sweater. I just couldn't find the sweater that I wanted as a base, which honestly I just wanted to use as a base and then embroider the stars on it because that was insane. But I couldn't find it, so I'm knitting it myself, and it's going to be the same for a few Nightmare Before Christmas looks items. I already made a Noogie Boogie top for it, and there will be a lot of stuff that are inspired by background characters mostly, and it's fun. I really want to do it. Also, I had, when I was a teen, a sweater with like cables and a big collar that folded back into mid-arm. It looked so beautiful and I loved it so much, and it was so cool. And it had cables all the way. It was white, it was really pretty. And I don't fit in it anymore. If I even have it anymore, because I can't find it. I have no idea where it was. But I miss it. I'm going to remake it, but I need a lot of white yarn for it. So that hasn't happened yet. But I will, it will. I have some movie recreations that I want to do. I want to make Juno thigh-high socks because this is the fun. I love thigh-high socks and I wish I could wear them, but I can't because I'm too fat. There is the veil that Padme wears in one of the scenes. It's like crochet, caramel color. It would be insane to remake. But also I was looking at pictures of like, I think I can make that. Which is insane because I do not want to cosplay Padme, but I'm not sure can I call to me, so maybe one day it will happen. Coraline, I want to make the gloves. I want to make Sally's dress into squares, into making a big blanket with like different pattern squares stitched together in black. That would be fun. I want to make sweater and pants with like skeletons, design white on black, to make Amstrongram. I don't remember. I don't remember his name, but one of the 3 little devils that obey to Oogie Boogie in Nightmare Before Christmas. Again, I really want to be there. And also there is the sweater that Lane wears at Thanksgiving in Gilmore Girls. I'm not exactly a Gilmore girl, but I like this sweater, so I think it would be fun to recreate. And I have a list long like that of holiday sweaters. I have some for Valentine's Day, I have some for Easter, I have stuff for Halloween, I have stuff for Christmas, and I keep having more ideas. It's problematic because there's like I'm gonna count. I have 15 so far. One of them is even for the winter solstice, if you don't celebrate. Which would be done because most of the other holidays are very, very Christian holidays, sadly. So, if you're not of a Christian culture, you're probably not going to buy the book. But yeah, I want to make a book out of it. I do not know if it's going to be possible. I do not know if money-wise it would be smart of me. I don't know if I would be published. But it would be really fun, and I think it'd be a way to have success in some way and produce something that is just not an endless string of stuff and have like a big project. I want to make a holiday sweater project. I want to make a wedding dress, crochet and knitting book. Both are books. I want to make a crochet book and I want to make a knitting book with like that green lace top and that pink wraparound sweater, because both of those are going to be like very heavy ribbing, not ribbing, but braid and cables and lace involved stuff. So I think it would be interesting to sell a pattern, but I don't want to sell patterns on Ravelry. I just don't think it's my thing. But I think it would be really cool to make books. I don't know how realistic it is, but that's kind of something I want to do. And I keep having a lot of ideas. And I have more every day. I literally had 2 today that I added to this list. It's a problem because I don't have the yarn for any of that. So it sucks. It really sucks. So that's where I'm at the moment. I have more ideas than I have yarn, and I have yarn that I still don't know what to do with. But I have a long list of projects that I do have the idea and the yarn for, and they have to be my priority for now. I'll see you in 3 months with hopefully a lot of updates, a lot of stuff that I make that are not blankets. Alright, see you. Bye bye.